Hello and welcome to the Community Readiness Assessment Tools Overview. My name is Dr. Leslie Ware and I'm a Research Associate at Ohio University's Voinovich School of Leadership and Public Affairs. This webinar will provide a brief overview of your next steps as well as an inventory of the materials on the Community Readiness Assessment Tools webpage. On the Tools webpage, you will find this video of the webinar that you're watching, as well as a PowerPoint slide under Supporting Materials. You will also find several documents that will help support you through the CRA process. We'll be covering these documents on the webinar. Before we discuss the resources available to help you through the CRA process, I'd like to provide you with a brief overview of the acronyms that you're likely to see. The first is CRA. This stands for Community Readiness Assessment and is the overall process of gathering community data to determine your community's level of readiness to tackle your priority issue. The second acronym is TEM. TEM stands for the Tri-Ethnic Model. That's the model that we'll be using to conduct the CRA, the Community Readiness Assessment. The third acronym is CRM, which is short for Community Readiness Model. This is just another term for the Tri-Ethnic Model. TEM and CRM can be used interchangeably. The first document that you'll find in the Tools section of the website is the CRA Planning Tool. This tool provides you with a way to stay organized and track your progress through the CRA process. It also allows you to see your next steps. The CRA Planning Tool breaks the CRA process down into 9 steps, each with a number of specified tasks. The CRA Resources Needed document is a series of PowerPoint slides. There is no accompanying voiceover or webinar. The PowerPoint slides cover the resources needed to complete the CRA process. These include the human resources, your CRA team, as well as the supplies that you'll need, like a digital recorder. More information about the resources that you need can be found in this document. The CRA team overview. In order to complete the CRA, you need to form a CRA team. This will include 1 or 2 interviewers, 2 scorers that were not involved in the interviewing process, and a report writer. The report writer can be an interviewer or scorer or a separate individual. Your CRA team will identify 4 to 8 community stakeholders to interview. Your CRA team can watch the relevant CRA webinars on the SPIF PFS website in order to train for their roles. When you pull together your CRA team, be mindful of who you select for what position. Assigning roles to individuals who have not performed a particular task before is a great way to increase the capacity of your coalition. So if you have individuals on your coalition who have performed interviews before, consider assigning them a different role. Involving your coalition with the CRA builds member buy-in, engagement, and ultimately makes your coalition more sustainable. As a reminder, the CRA process involves a number of discrete roles that you can assign to coalition members who are going to be a part of your CRA team. You're going to need 1 or 2 coalition members to conduct interviews. You need 2 coalition members who are not involved in the interviewing process to be scorers or raters. And you need 1 individual from your coalition to do the report write-up. The report writer can be someone who is involved in the interviews or scoring, or a separate individual. Another way the CRA benefits your coalition is that it engages your community. Interviewing a variety of different community stakeholders provides a way to expand awareness of your coalition and coalition activities. Make sure that when you select stakeholders from your community, that you get a broad representation. You want to avoid just selecting people who are involved in prevention work in your community. Instead, try to find people from different segments of the community, such as law enforcement, the faith-based community, business, or parents of youth. That way, your CRA more accurately reflects your community's awareness of the issue that you're trying to tackle. Among the tools available, you will find the interview introduction. This is a brief introduction that you will read to your stakeholders before the interview. It provides a brief overview of the CRA process and purpose. You will also find the Community Readiness Assessment interview script. This is the tri-ethnic model script. It is a standardized script, so you cannot change the questions, and your interviewer or interviewers need to make sure that they ask the questions exactly as they appear in the script. You will customize the script by inserting your community name and your substance of focus or issue where it is specified in the script. We highly recommend that the interviewers practice the interview script before conducting interviews. Also, sometimes one of your stakeholders will not have any information to share. This can make for an awkward interview, but rather than stopping the interview, remember that it is important to find out where your community actually falls on their community readiness. This means understanding what your community does and does not know about an issue and the prevention work in your community. So finding out that your community members are not aware of what is going on is just as important as finding out that they are aware. Make sure that you share that information with your respondent if they become uncomfortable, and thank them for sharing their perspective. Then continue reading the interview script exactly as it appears in the script. The TEM script has a total of 40 questions. There's also a brief demographic profile for respondents to complete at the end of the script. The final document that you will find within the Tools section is the Tri-Ethnic Model of Community Readiness FAQs. This document contains answers to frequently asked questions about the TEM. If you have a question about the TEM, please refer to this document. Thank you for your time today.